a child that flies off the handle quickly, gets angry really easily, then this is for you. Um, Proverbs says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty." So, teaching our children to control their emotions can set them up for success later and all through their lives, in fact, because that's something that we're always going to have to deal with. We're always going to have things that make us angry. So, knowing how to handle that correctly can really be helpful. So, and here in 2020, where we are right now, everybody's a little on edge, right? I mean, we have coronavirus and we have riots going on, and everybody's a little on edge. So, children, even more so, because their brains aren't fully developed yet. And so, it can feel even more chaotic to them. So, giving them that routine and structure, that makes life feel a little less chaotic and more manageable in their minds. So, it could be a really great thing for them. And who knows that if life is already feeling chaotic, just the smallest thing can set us off, right? I mean, I know I've been guilty of that. You're already having a bad day, and then somebody says just the smallest thing, and you fly off the handle. So, step one is to make sure kids have routine and structure to their day. And then step two is watch for events that trigger their anger to teach them to recognize those events and then the thoughts created by the event. And this stuff is helpful for adults too. By the way, I've done this myself. I've done these techniques on myself, and then also, taught them to our kids. So because see, what happens is an event creates a thought, and then that thought creates an emotion, um, and then that emotion creates more negative thoughts, and it just becomes this vicious cycle. Two of my favorite techniques for handling this is that we have found, these are the two things I've found to be most helpful for us. And the first is distractions. Like journaling is definitely my favorite, or anything really that just distracts them in a positive way away from those negative feelings. It could be playing with a pet, reading, some type of exercise, going for a run or a jog, listening to positive music. It is important that it be positive music because music can actually have the opposite effect if it's, if the words are negative or dark. So I would keep that in mind. It can be some type of learned relaxation technique. And then the other thing, technique that we taught our kids is to analyze those thoughts by asking a few questions. Byron Katie, an author, calls this the work. And the questions that you ask are, is it true? Number two, the second question you ask is, can I absolutely know that it's true? How do I react or feel when I believe that that's true? And then how would I feel without that thought? And then after you ask those four questions, you turn the thought around completely to its opposite and ask, what if the exact opposite of that were true? Sorry, my hair keeps tickling my face. So, what if the exact opposite of that were true? So an example would be, and this is kind of a big one for kids at certain ages, but, why was that kid looking at me? That kid was looking at me, giving me a dirty look, um, do they have a problem with me? That's kind of something you hear kids say, right? And so first thing, just using that as an example, the first thing is it true? Ask yourself, is that true? Was that person looking at you and, having a problem with you? They were giving you a dirty look because they had a problem with you. The second thing is, can I absolutely know that it's true? Do I know for certain that that person was giving me a dirty look because they have a problem with me? The third thing is, how do I react or feel when I have that thought and when I believe it? So thinking that someone is giving you a dirty look because they have a problem with you might make you feel on edge or angry or resentful, right? All kinds of negative feelings can come up. So then I think, well, how would I feel if I didn't have that thought? well, I probably I wouldn't feel that anger. I wouldn't, feel that resentment or feel on edge if I didn't believe they were giving me a dirty look and having a problem with me, right? So, and then after asking those 4 questions, I just turn that completely around and say, what if the opposite is true? Well, what are some possibilities for something that would be the opposite of that? Maybe that person wasn't looking at me at all. Maybe they were looking through me. Have you ever done that? I know I do it a lot actually, where, I'll be in a daze thinking about something completely different. Um, and, there might be somebody right in front of me. I might even be looking at them, but my mind is somewhere else. I think we've all done that, right? So maybe they aren't really looking at you. And maybe they're having bad thoughts themselves. Maybe they just had a fight with a parent or a friend. Maybe they just had a really bad experience. We don't know. We have no way of knowing just from a dirty look, what they were thinking, or if they were thinking about us at all in a negative way. So, just shedding some light on that and talking through it can be really helpful for just calming the blood pressure, bringing the blood pressure down, and calming those thoughts, right? And what if that's true? That's the final question that you're asking. What if it's true that they, got in a fight with a friend, and that's why they have this look on their face and it has nothing to do with you? Then how does it make you feel? Well, maybe you have some empathy now, or it definitely, like I said, at least brings down those emotions a little bit, whatever the case. So, and again, back to relaxation techniques, whatever techniques you're using, like to calm down and redirect, so to speak, I would always teach your kids relaxation techniques. I know deep abdominal breathing into the abdomen, and taking a few deep, long breaths into the abdomen and out, is something that we taught our kids early on, and that we make sure to do ourselves throughout the day, even because it's great for just relaxing and taking in some fresh air, and it really does a lot of good for the body and the mind. So I would implement that no matter what else you do. And if you would like to get my free stuff that I don't advertise to the public, you can go to powerparentingforpeacefulhome.com. There is a link above, I believe, and a link below as well. So you can go there and get on the VIP list and get that free stuff if you'd like. And with that, you guys have a blessed day.